Hello, YouTube. Uh, I was reading a very popular book today, and I came to a shocking discovery. Um, I was reading about our president, about the president of the United States. Now, those of you who have been paying attention to the news might have noticed some mentions of Donald Trump not being a wonderful person. And those claims might have merit, they might not. But, anyways, I was reading this popular book. Uh, it's one of the most popular of all time. It's by this guy named God. It's called the Holy Bible. Um, and anyway, in it, you can find out about Christianity and about the things that Jesus said and did. Some of them are a little fantastical, but I've been told it's a accurate book. It's literally real, and I think y'all should check it out. But anyway, I thought to myself, wait a second. Donald Trump is a Christian. Um, there was a Fox News article about it. I'll link to it in the description. You can check it out, anyways. Uh, so I was thinking to myself, it's a little odd. Uh, Jesus talks about a lot of stuff in here. Um, there's this chapter in book 2 of the Bible by God called Matthew. Um, and then there are a bunch of other chapters which are like the same but a little bit different. Uh, I'm not really sure what God was going for there when he wrote those chapters. But anyway, Jesus talks about a lot of you know, caring about other people, not getting revenge. In here in section 38 of chapter 1 of book 2, he says, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for the tooth, but I say to you, do not resist one who is evil. Um, but if anyone who strikes you on the right cheek, turn him the other also." Um, so basically, what Jesus is saying here is if someone comes up to you, slaps you in the face, then you just say, "Here's my other cheek, slap me." Um, and I would like you to, in your mind's eye, think about our president, Donald Trump, and say to yourself, imagine for a second, a person comes up and slaps Donald Trump in the face. Do you really think he would turn and say, "Hit me on the other cheek"? Um, I think that you would find, and you could go try this out yourself if you wanted to, but I think you would find that his reaction would be to uh, shout out in fear and run away, and then the Secret Service would shoot you to death. So here, that was my first clue that Donald Trump may not be a real Christian. Um, so Jesus talks about a lot of other stuff. Part 5 of chapter 1 of book 2 of the Bible. This is the next one, next of the uh, Beatitudes. I think that's how that's pronounced. Is blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Um, if you think about Donald Trump's behavior, you can check the definition of meek. I'll link it in the description, and I'll Google it right now because I don't know the exact definition of meek. Um, Quiet, gentle, and easily imposed on, submissive. um, yeah, that's not Donald Trump at all. I mean, all you have to do is post any of his rallies. He's quite loud, except for that one debate where he was very very quiet. Um, Very low energy in that one, but I guess it didn't affect the election result, unfortunately. Um, so you can just flip through the Bible um, and pick any of these little sections of the chapters, and you'll find numerous examples of Donald Trump and Jesus having a stark contrast. Um, Jesus says that he speaks in parables. Donald Trump doesn't speak in parables. He speaks in second grade playground type talking. No parables by Donald Trump. And then eventually you get to this part, which I was very skeptical about. I had heard that conservatives love Jesus. A lot of conservatives are rich people. Rich people generally love conservatives, unless they're trying to trick you by acting liberal. And I thought, surely this book has been captured by communists and edited. But I looked it up on the internet, and it turns out this is actually a real verse. He talks about a rich man who wants to go to heaven despite being rich. And Jesus says, you can't go to heaven unless, if you're rich, it would be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. And unless that was a really big needle, then I don't think you're seeing a camel going through a needle eye. And you aren't seeing rich people going to heaven, apparently. And Donald Trump is a very, very rich man. And all Christians go to heaven. And apparently Donald Trump is not going to heaven. Rich people aren't real Christians. That's the analysis that I get from this book. So I hope that this evidence has been convincing to you. And if you doubt anything that I've said, all you gotta do is you gotta go to your local bookstore and say, hey, I want the #1 all-time bestseller, and they will give you a copy of the Bible. I have the Second Catholic edition. So I guess if you're not a Catholic, feel free to just say that everything I said is a lie. I don't know what the differences are. Maybe they don't have the bits that I mentioned. Maybe they don't have Matthew, if you're like in a Orthodox Bible. So yeah, that's just something to consider. Because Trump, he's the Christian president. Well, guess what? He is. A lot of people worried about Obama. Is he a Muslim or is he a Christian? I would venture to say that Obama doesn't meet Jesus' standards either. But that's a topic for another video. So if you have any comments about my discovery, if you accept it or reject it, feel free to talk about it, and I will call you wrong and dislike your comment. Thank you.